Welcome back. Today, let's read and discuss some AITAs. I've got Reddit pulled up. Let's get right into it. AITA for making a no vaping rule in my apartment. First initial thoughts, no, it's your apartment, do whatever you want. But let's read. I'm sorry if this is a weird thing to ask. I've just had mixed reactions from my friends, so why not ask total strangers online? I have an apartment with one other roommate for school. We both, 22 male, hate the smell of things like carts, vapes, cigarettes. I also personally hate anything with nicotine because of how addictive it is. I've seen what it does to people, and personally, I just don't want that stuff in my house. Since none of our friends smoke cigarettes or vape, I never really made a rule about it. Well, my spring break was last week, and my younger sister, 21 female, came to visit for a weekend. She kept hitting her vape. It was like it was just second nature for her to grab the thing and take a hit. I asked her to stop because the smell was bothering me, and while she apologized, she kept getting defensive about hitting it so much because she can't just go cold turkey for a weekend. Honestly, that's fair. While I've never experienced withdrawal from nicotine, and I've personally experienced withdrawal from some antidepressants, and it's horrible. I'd never wish that onto anyone. But because it was still bothering me, I went to my roommate about adding no vaping to our official house rules. He was cool with that because we both don't like having that stuff in our space. Since we agreed to add that, I texted my sister. The text was brief and just explained that if she came to visit again this semester, she couldn't vape here anymore. Well, she blew up at me about it. She reminded me that withdrawal is horrible and so she can't just give it up for a weekend to see me. She also said that it's not that big of a deal and she'll use it in the bathroom if it bugs me that much. Her reaction honestly just made me want to enforce the rule further, but at the same time I feel bad because I'm basically forcing her to stop doing something just because I don't like it. I'm not trying to be some guardian angel helping her end their nicotine addiction, nor am I asking her to stop vaping completely. I don't want to not allow my sister into my apartment over some flavored air. I just don't want that in my apartment though. I later went to some friends and their responses are mixed. A few of my friends say stuff along the lines of how I'm just setting a boundary, similar to someone who doesn't drink asking his guests not to drink while they're in his home. But other friends are saying that I'm trying to force my opinions on vaping onto my sister, or I'm trying to force her to quit vaping. That's not what I mean to do, though. We're both adults, and while I'm not happy she vapes, it's not my place to act all high and mighty. She's her own person, and she can do what she wants. I just don't want some things to happen in my house. So, AITA for allowing vaping in my apartment. Edit. My sister is more than welcome to step outside. I didn't think of it as an option because I'm worried it's unreadable to ask because I live on the fifth floor of my building. Oh, I think he meant to say unreasonable. And because he lives on the fifth floor. Okay, yeah, that was my first question. It's like, why can't you just step outside? Why is this such a big deal? Okay, so then now that I'm privy to that information, yeah, maybe not. Maybe she's not gonna like step all the way outside. Obviously, like if you don't have a balcony that she could step outside onto, she can't like at least open a window and blow it out. So it's I don't know, like she can't just at least blow it out. I don't know. Is that too simple of an explanation? I feel like duh a little bit. But like why is it such a big deal? Like typically if anybody smokes and you don't want them smoking in your house, they would just step outside. I understand extenuating circumstances, fifth floor, all that. So like just especially in this case because it's vape, like you don't have the cigarette smoke just wandering into the house or something, like just have her blow it out. Like have a can you open a like you can open a window in the fifth floor, right? They're just like bars and stuff on it, but like you could still open one for airflow. I've not honestly never lived on a fifth floor apartment, but I'm assuming that there's like windows that open for airflow. Like I don't know, if you don't have an open window, then it's a little bit more difficult. In that case, she's gonna have to. No, I don't think it's unreasonable to ask her to go down five flights of stairs or whatever, elevator, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask her to step outside. Like if I went to visit a friend who lived on a fifth floor apartment and I just couldn't take it anymore, I needed a cigarette. I would my first and only thought would be like, let me walk my ass downstairs. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of entitlement to me. Like, this is not your space if someone asks you, from the sister, that is. If this is not your space, if someone asks you not to do something in their space, you know what I mean? Like, try to be accommodating as possible. Nobody's asking you to go cold turkey, but like, cut back for the weekend a little bit so that you can see your bro. And you know what? Like, step outside every once in a while or step by an open window. I really don't feel like it's that hard. I feel like the sister's being unreasonable and very entitled here. And I don't think that it's at all making you the poster an a-hole to add that to their apartment list of rules. Like, if they don't want that in their apartment, period, they don't have to have it in their apartment. It's really as simple as that. Let's move on to another one. AITA for refusing to drink wine. Again, I can't imagine like what would make you an a-hole. If you don't want to drink it, you don't want to drink it. In January, I, 19 female, bumped into an old teacher of mine from high school. Julian, fake name, was very kind to me when I was in his class. Sometimes would spend the entire lunch break just talking to me about lectures and books, and he was the only person who noticed I had problems at home. Nothing huge. My parents weren't divorcing and all is well now. My parents were divorcing and all is well now. I used to appreciate him and sort of think of him as a friend. He must have been 24, 25 then. Looked very young for a teacher. I don't know. I'm concerned. Let's just read on. I'm saying this because a few weeks ago I saw him on my way home from uni. Now that I moved out and share my flat with my roommate, he doesn't live too far from me. We decided we would catch up and he invited me for a cup of tea, which is when he told me he missed our conversation and was glad I'm doing well and attended my dream university. One thing led to another and he asked if I'd give him a chance. I was hesitant at first, but we're both adults and he was very respectful, so I agreed. Since then, he took me on a date to the theater, to the British Library, and I really feel like he understands me very well. Still, I told him I didn't want to rush my feelings, that I was still getting used to spending more time with him. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Anybody who was like a teacher to a student, I think it's weird that you don't still see that person as your student, even if they've already left your class. Let's read on, though. That's an aside. I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry. Let me read the whole thing before I form my opinion. But as you can see, my opinion is fully formed. Yesterday, Julian invited me to his place for a nice dinner. He really went all out. There were candles, wine, 4 courses, and he put on his Sunday clothes. I was really flattered, and we agreed that after the dinner, we'd cuddle. Thing is, he brought a really expensive wine and poured me a huge glass. I'm gonna explode, girl. Get away from this creep. But I didn't touch it because I never liked any type of alcohol. He got upset and told me I could never do things properly, that I was stubborn, and that he tried so hard for us to have one perfect moment. I tried to reassure him because it suddenly felt like it was about much more than wine, but he kept saying that it wasn't at all, that I was frigid and that he felt like I was never pleased. I tried to salvage dinner, but he got really upset. I was surprised he asked me to stay the night, that it would make him feel better, but I had loads of work to do in the morning, so I declined. Since then, he texted me asking whether he could see me, whether we could do something together, but I'm hesitant to do so, especially since he practically snapped at me. I'm thinking I could have been more accommodating and shown more appreciation for him. Nope, 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 nope. That's like the classic tactics of like all of this that I've done for you, so now you're expected to do for me. If a man is doing those things for the expectation of getting what he wants in return, then they're not done genuinely and they don't matter. Like, and in fact, that makes those things a red flag. I'm so sorry, but like pouring you a huge glass of wine, it's just everything, like going all the way out right after you said like, let's just chill, take it slow, you know what I mean? Like, and then when he has the nerve to, he got upset and told me I could never do things properly. Girl, leave. Get away from this man. In fact, actually, way back up here, I forgot. It got crazier as we went. I forgot this literally started as, this was your teacher, is it not? 19 female. So she's 19 right now. Like, she's freshly adult. And this man who I, 19, ran into a teacher from high school. So this 25-year-old is in a high school flirting with, I don't know, teenager. Like, she's only 19. She was 16, 15, whatever back then. I don't mean flirting, but like spending a lot of time getting really close to. And that's fine. I wasn't necessarily upset, but like I just have seen that story a lot and where it leads. Not personally, but just like you hear a lot, online, whatever. And yeah, no, it just started bad and got so much worse. No, you are not the a-hole. If you don't like to drink wine, don't consume wine, and don't let anyone ever try to make you feel pressure to do so. I can kind of speak from experience here. It's like I, with the mental disorder and lack of self-esteem and all these like self-destructive behaviors, like I would date as a young impressionable like girl. I would date a lot of older men, and I put myself admittedly, but I was in that position a lot where I was feeling pressured into doing things that I had already expressed that I didn't want to do because of all the things that older, more experienced, usually more financially off person had provided me or taught me or like done for me. And it was a lot of me like feeling that way, but also a certain type of person will particularly prey on those feelings from women and take advantage of them and use them. No, like, you know what I mean? So I do not think you are the a-hole at all. In fact, I think there's just red flags flying all over this story, and I don't think you should ever get together with him again. I don't think you should be more accommodating. I don't think you should show more appreciation for him. I don't think you're the a-hole at all. Like, you really tried to salvage the dinner after he got upset, and he was still an a-hole about it. Like, all this stuff. Also, what was that note about, like, you feeling like you had to. Well, you didn't say it that way. You said something about agreeing for cuddles because he had. Okay, here it is. He really went all out, blah, 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 blah. I was flattered, and we agreed that after the dinner, we'd cuddle. See, here's the thing, though. It's like, I'm not even on the poster for agreeing to that because, yeah, that might be like a follow-up to something like this. It might be natural, but it's just the fact that it was agreed to beforehand makes me assume, based on all the other bits of the story, that he specifically kind of framed it as, well, look what all I've done for you. You're going to at least cuddle me later, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, ugh, I can just imagine. I'm inputting my own little detail there. That might not have happened, but I just imagine that it did. Let me go down and read the comments just a touch. NTA, 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 NTA. Note his perfect moment was all about him. Thank you. Let me read this comment. Note, his perfect moment was all about him. OP's comfort was not a priority at all. So, OP, if you want to be with someone who sees you as a prop in his perfect scene, you're with the right guy. In his world, you're an NPC. If you want someone who sees your wishes, wants, grants, and desires, and grant. If you want someone who sees your wishes, wants, and desires as equally as valid as his, this ain't it. 1,000,000% agreed. Actually, that's a really good point. NTA, dude is a predator. I'm having a really hard time believing that he just bumped into you. He groomed you while you were in high school, waited till you were technically an adult, so it's not illegal, and then when you weren't ready, he tried to get you drunk and got angry when you wouldn't cooperate. Stay away from him. 1,000,000%. Like, this kind of took a deep, dark turn because this is more like. This is more awful than I could. Like, this could end really, really badly. This OP, I'm really glad that they came here and hopefully they're taking this advice to heart because this is a dangerous situation for them. NTA, sound the alarm. Upset about you not drinking. Do not fall for his love bombing. Red flags. No, no, no. This is not a you problem. Exactly. Like, these older men love to try to make it seem like everything that they do is your fault, and I hate that. Girl, this guy's been working on that angle for years. And I'll be polite to say on dozens of young ladies. Period. Let's move on to another one. Ooh. AITA for leaving a bar crawl early without my girlfriend. Most likely. Like, unless she had another very, very well trusted friend that was, I don't know, kind of, probably, most likely. I just like to give my initial thoughts. So let's read. I, male 27, just got home about 45 minutes ago and I'm currently dealing with a very pissed off girlfriend, 29, female. We have been dating since November after meeting off of Hinge. Every year, the weekend before St. Patrick's Day weekend, her friend from high school, Dean, has a birthday bar crawl. A lot of people go. There must have been like 40 people there. My girlfriend has known Dean since high school, and she even dated him for a little bit back then. We are much older now, so it doesn't bother me. What bothered me is that my girlfriend basically barely talked to me the entire time we were there. We got to the pregame around noon and went to the first bar at like 2 p.m. She kept running off with her friends, and I didn't know a single person who was there. These aren't friends she sees often, so I've never met them before. I spent most of my time at the first 3 bars looking for her. She was pretty drunk and hyper, and I know she was looking forward to seeing these friends, but I still felt like she ditched me. I even expressed to her that if she wanted to go without me, it would be okay because I'm kind of shy and not great with large groups of people I don't know. She insisted that I go, however, so I did, only for her to not be around most of the time. When it came time to go to the 3rd bar, I found her and told her I had an Uber coming back to my apartment. She can come over when she's done. I said I didn't care at all if she wanted to stay, but I was done and didn't really feel wanted here. She tried to get me to stay, but I insisted that it was all good, but that I wanted to leave. Now she's saying that she's not going to come over and she's mad at me for leaving, even making snide remarks about how I don't let myself socialize. So, was I the a-hole here? Actually, no, my opinion pretty drastically changed. For one, it's like you didn't leave her. I thought you said leave her alone. Oh, I just don't read properly. You never said leave her alone. You said left without her. No, like she's in safe company with people she knows very, very well. So it's not like you like left her, alone, drunk or anything like that. Which was kind of, I don't know why, I must have read it wrong. But here's the thing is, you made it very clear that these are not your group of friends and that you were going to support her. And she was dismissive and ungrateful of that. And I don't think it was wrong of you to leave at that point. Or I guess, maybe you should have, like, tried to speak. She's drunk, though. It's just, like, probably, no, dude, just, yeah, no. I was gonna say, maybe you should have tried to just, like, ask her, be like, hey, like, you're kind of ditching me. Like, maybe you should have at least mentioned it to her before you just left. But you do say that you spent a lot of time looking for her, so I imagine when you found her, you said something along the lines of, like, oh, I was looking for you because I was alone over there. So I'm just going to assume that kind of happened and be like, no, you're not the a-hole for leaving at that point. You made it clear that you were only there to support her, and so she needs to spend a little bit of effort making sure that you feel comfortable. Like, for example, if I go to an event with my boyfriend to his family gatherings, I know a few people there a little bit, but I'm out of place a bit, right? And I don't know as many people to talk to or things like that. And so when I expressed that, I was like, oh, I'm just a little bit nervous to, like, be around a group of people that, like, I'm not really good at socializing anyways, and then these people are just, like, very, very accustomed to you, and, like, I don't know them at all, you know what I mean? So there's gonna be a lot of, like, catching up and all these stuff, and I was just like, I don't know, no big deal anyways. And he, like, made sure to go out of the way to include me in conversation, catch me up on things when they were talking about something I didn't understand or whatever. And I very, very greatly appreciated that, especially, like I said, as someone, like, with higher levels of social anxiety. I really, really appreciated that. That he goes above and beyond, because I do think it's important that if you want someone to come with you, like she's insisting he be there, then you need to, like, make sure that it's an inclusive space for that person too. I think, again, I just say again because, like, the other sister was kind of being entitled. I think this is just, like, a little bit of entitled and or what's it, like, just basically selfish behavior. It's just, you're really only thinking about yourself. You want him there, but you're not going to go out of the way to make sure, like, he wants to be there. I don't really think that's right. So I would say no, I don't think he's the a-hole. Let me scroll down and see if people agree, though. NTA, she was with a group of friends, so it isn't like you left her alone, and even left without telling her. Me being a person that also isn't comfortable in large groups of unknown people, I probably would have done the same. That's literally exactly what I just said. See, it's like the she says she would make sure I'm having fun, but she didn't really care to do that, said the OP in a comment to somebody else. It's like 100% NTA, she insisted you go, then ditched you. You're talking with a drunk person. This is not a conversation. This is a conversation you both want to have sober. Yeah, unfortunately, just you're gonna have to let her go home angry, vent to her friends all night, while she's drunk, and then try to explain. Hopefully, she's a little bit more calm and rational in the morning, and you can explain, and hopefully, she sees a little bit better. But that's a good point. Is don't go around it now because it frankly will probably just escalate into something that neither one of you needs it to be or means it to be at all. NTA, let her be mad. Don't engage with that conversation or go on the defense. I will say that in a relationship between an extrovert and an introvert takes a lot of love and consideration from both people. She doesn't seem to be prepared to do that. Longer term, you're going to have to consider your compatibility issues. For this issue, though, the only way to manage it is to stay strong and calm. Don't apologize at all and see if she comes around in a few days. I would upvote that comment. I think that's the best comment I've read. Happy summer breeze is the commenter. I would say I completely agree. My girls tippy tapping down there. Let's read another, shall we? AITA for rejecting my brother's apology dinner. I, 17 male. My dog's kicking her feet and she's like tapping the wall. Can you hear her tapping? It's very distracting. I, 27. No, I can't read it all. I, 17 male, literally just turned 17 on March 1st. I had my birthday dinner on Saturday, which was the 2nd. I was expecting my whole family to come, but instead my brother called to cancel and let me know that he couldn't come because his wife had a migraine. I was upset, but I expected it. This happens often when I have something special for me. I will give some examples. My 8th grade graduation, my brother had to miss it due to her being fired from work. My 9th grade award ceremony, my brother had to miss because she was sick with the flu or something. My 15th birthday party, I really don't remember the excuse. 10th grade award ceremony, my brother had to miss it because they had a wedding to go to. My 16th birthday party, my brother had to miss it because her sister was in the hospital. My 17th birthday party, my brother had to miss it because she had a migraine. I really can't fault her for this, I guess. Those are valid excuses, but it just sucks that they all happen around the time of my birthday or like something I'd want my family to come to. I don't even mind that she doesn't come. I'd just like if my brother could come. I'm just happy that my other family does come and support me, which I love. Wednesday, my brother came by and gave me some money and a birthday card and apologized for missing my birthday again and asked me if he could take me out to eat to apologize again for missing my birthday party. I'm not gonna lie, if this was a one-time occurrence, I would have took him up on the offer, but this is like the second time he missed my birthday, but this is I don't think this person worded things correctly. I'm going to paraphrase here. I would have taken him up on his offer if this was like the first or second time he missed something, but this time I wasn't really feeling it, and I just told my brother that I appreciate the gift, but it's alright. He took it well, as I thought, but apparently he was hurt by me turning down the offer because my brother and my dad came to me and asked me why I didn't want to go out this Saturday because he was hurt that I rejected his offer. I told him that he didn't seem hurt when I rejected it, but they told me that he was and felt really bad about missing my birthday. I told them that it's really not a big deal and that I'm not mad about it. I said that he already got me something that I was happy with. Cut to today. He called me again and asked me if I was sure I didn't want to go out to eat today, and I told him I was sure. This time I could really tell in his tone of voice that he was actually sad about it. My dad told me that he wants me to go out to eat tomorrow with him, so he doesn't feel bad. I told him that he does this every year and I'm just used to it. I said that I'd be surprised if he even came to my graduation. My dad then told me he feels like I'm doing this to be petty and only trying to make my brother feel more guilty. My family is making me feel like I'm in the wrong for rejecting his offer, and I'm so confused. Okay. I don't know why I struggled reading this. So a lot of it wasn't worded properly, I think, or maybe my brain's just shutting down. Anyways, what happened? So you basically, he just like misses everything and then expects a makeup doing on his own time, and you're just like, no thanks. Yeah, I don't think that makes you an a-hole, honestly, because it's just like, this is, again, if it happened a time or two, like you'd said, okay, like people miss things sometimes, but he's just like not being considerate at all. Especially because a lot of these things are not times where he would need to miss a family function to stay and support her. Like maybe the migraine, like I don't know, from someone who experiences migraines a lot, like I just want to lay in absolute silence in the dark. So I don't imagine what him being there would even do for her. In fact, any noise from anybody around me is intensely irritating when I have a full-blown migraine. So I don't know. I just think it's weird that he can't, or like, for example, like she's got the flu, like you can't take off, like you can't set her up with meds and some water and some Powerade and take off for a few hours to make your brother's thing. You know what I mean? Just little thing, or like, oh, oh my gosh, I literally can't read at all. I don't know why I'm doing this video. It it literally says, I think I read it as he had to miss something due to her being fired from work. Rereading it now, I'm realizing it says that he missed the graduation because she was tired from work. You don't have to come, man. I don't know. It just seems like, is the brother using the his girlfriend as an excuse? Because it just kind of sounds like you're making up excuses, and I don't know if they're even coming from the girlfriend. I think they might be coming straight from you. But no, I don't think you're an a-hole at all. If you don't want to do this makeup dinner every time, it's just like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't either. It's like it starts to get to a point where it's like it doesn't really mean much, because now it's almost like this is for you because you want to do this celebration that's supposed to be for me, but you want to do it on your terms and your time, like in your way. And that just doesn't really, that's not really sitting right. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with a firm NTA, but let's scroll and see. NTA seems really suspicious, like she doesn't want him there. Some of those excuses seemed fine for him to still go. Next time. Yeah, no, again, like she doesn't want him there. I'm not, excuse me, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just feeling like the boyfriend is, without even the girlfriend knowing, telling people that, like, oh, my girlfriend doesn't want me to do shit as an excuse to get out of stuff. Just assuming. NTA, but this might work better for everyone if you were able to be honest. Bro, I'm tired of you constantly making excuses. Yeah, honestly, just bro, I'm tired of you constantly making excuses for why you can't come to important events. It's been a continual pattern and it hurts my feelings. I appreciate your gift, but I don't think I want to go to dinner with you right now. Period. NTA, you may want to rethink it and have dinner with just you and him so you can let him know that you're tired of sitting second chair to his wife and throwing a wrench and stuff. From your examples, it's not your brother as much as it is his wife interjecting herself. I don't know. Everybody seems to think it's on the wife. I don't know why I have this deep down suspicion that the brother's just using the wife as an excuse to get out of stuff. And on that note, we'll go ahead and close this video out. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like that video, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up down below. Subscribe while you're hanging out down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.